Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can tell by the chatter that you are enjoying the evening so far. We are a few minutes away from commencing with the second half of our program, which will include 2 awards and then a performance by our entertainment. So as we begin to prepare for the second portion of the evening, I want to share with you a very special speech that you're going to hear that's going to take us into the second portion of the evening. It's a speech by Mary McLeod Bethune, her last public speech. We have, of the 25 sites that we celebrate, commemorate, support, only 2 of them are about African American women, Maggie Lena Walker and Mary McLeod Bethune. And we have spent the entire day focusing on their lives and their legacies, connecting, as you've heard, earlier today we had a half-day symposium on Capitol Hill where we had young people from various universities, high schools, as far as Reading, Pennsylvania, come in. And they experienced a non-traditional classroom setting through our national parks and learned a little bit more about the life of Mary McLeod Bethune, the life of Maggie Earl Walker. I heard this speech last summer after taking the position as the executive director of the African American Experience Fund. I went to the Mary McLeod Bethune house, and there are 2 women that I want to point out in the room tonight. Dr. Joy Kennard, who runs the Mary McLeod Bethune house. Joy, where are you? Thank you, Joy, for all of your work. It was the, I believe, the 96th birthday celebration of Dr. Mary McLeod Bethune last summer that Joy planned a Civil Rights Preservation Forum that inspired what we're honoring this year. But I want to acknowledge another person in the room, Marta Kelly, who is Chief of Interpretation and Education in the National Park System. Marta, would you stand? Marta Kelly is the first African American to serve as Chief of Interpretation and Education in our National Park Service. Why is that important? Because she is one of the persons who is leading a change in culture in the National Park Service. The National Park Service has some of the lowest numbers of diversity throughout the entire federal government. Through her efforts and her support, she is helping to recruit more young people into the park to become archivists, historians, teaching them how to master the art of oral history storytelling, digital storytelling, and we saw some of her work today. But I also found out something special tonight, and I can't leave the stage without acknowledging this. Marta said, you know, I was the first African American to serve as a director of the Mary McLeod Bethune house. She said, when I got to, who's been to the Mary McLeod Bethune house in this? Okay, so imagine walking in there and there's nothing there but a chandelier. So tonight I found out Marta is the person responsible for all of the artifacts that were recaptured and reclaimed in that house. I'm pointing it out to say she saw an opportunity and she did something about it. And that is what I want to challenge each and every one of you in this room to do. Do something about what Marion Wright Edelman said, about what we heard this morning, connecting our young people to our history to begin a movement to help transform their lives. Okay, my last name is Sermons, and I tend to take it serious, so I'm going to step away from that for a moment, because there's a special one that I want you to hear. Mary McLeod Bethune, her last public speech was at this very hotel, the Willard Hotel, during a Brotherhood luncheon, no doubt in this very room. And one of our honorees tonight, Congresswoman Norton, Dr. Janetta Cole, they had the opportunity to meet this woman, work with her, know her. So I want you to hear this speech because she leaves a charge that we have got to take forward, and then we will commence with our last 2 awards.